Hey, it's me, ᴊᴜsᴛ sleep schedule. I'm here since old man is hard at work testing out the brand new eternal sleep mechanic, along with those new sleep weapons and sleeping accessories. So, before we get to the ᴄᴏ compilation in order of sleepiness, let me give you some basic sleep data so you have some context to how wired or tired they really are. There's two types of sleepers. Enemies will either sleep for 1 minute or just be staggered. The deepest sleep often exposes weak points. Now to see how eternal sleep compares. Unsurprisingly, it puts them into a deep sleep that lasts forever. How I envy you. Oh, and this also removes weak points. Not that it matters much, since they will not wake up. But how about those mini sleepers? Surprisingly, they behave the same. There's nothing eternal about it. Anyone who staggered before also staggers in eternal sleep. Despite this version is way better. With the old sleep, any extra hit before the stagger animation began just cancelled it, making it mashing the attack button pretty pointless. Eternal Sleep does not have this issue. You can be as aggressive as you want, making this great with the Mimic tier, and pretty great for them bosses. There's a lot of reused enemies in the DLC, so I'm just gonna remove anyone who didn't get a reskin of some kind, no matter how small.
She's just a regular
soldier
with a stupid cheap hat. She still embodies all the awful
drop rate
she did before.
But she's got a new hat.
And if you gotta know their defenses, it's just what it was before, but just add between 47 and 67 sleep resist. So basically just one more hit than you're used to. More or less, everything in the old game had between 100 and 300 sleep resist. This means that a single St. Trina weapon art can sleep almost anything. So then, that's about everything. I hope you got your tea ready for this good night montage. And that isn't a spelling error. Anyways, that's enough rambling. It's time for bed. Curse Blades are the sleepiest enemy in the DLC, making them pretty easy to deal with, even with no skills. Thanks, Miyazaki. While these flies are very easy to sleep, it's very hard to repulse them. They must be kinda buggy. I was tempted to leave this guy off the list, but since he is a boss, it's good knowledge to know. Since there is another boss who is reused that is immune. Speaking of immunities, these mages are the only non-sleepable humanoid in this entire zone. How strange. Yeah, this dude is just a gold reskin. Considering his OP moveset, it's pretty good to know. He's mercifully easy with sleep. And yeah, it's the same deal with these 3 elemental dudes. Yo. The Living Jar is the first enemy you can't sleep instantly with the St. Trina's weapon art. And perhaps, unsurprisingly, the jar innards have the exact same sleep resistance. Hey, only this demi-human can be slept. His boss version is immune. And speaking of bosses, Renala is among the most sleepy bosses in the entire game. Her defense is barely better than some very common monsters, making her easily beatable with eternal sleep span. even if you got no skills, like me. But since no other summon can use Eternal Sleep, it's limited to the Mimic tier and other players. And speaking of players, this entry represents all player type bosses. They are all around 350-ish, which isn't too good for sleep. These are already hard to sleep, since they dodge a lot anyways. Now, while 400 is pretty bad, he's one of the few enemies who sleep eternally. So if you do put it off, it is a free win. Now, this guy was surprising. Since he is an undead scaly man of some sort, those dudes are normally immune. And for this dude, all his variants are the same, no matter the style. And with that, we're out of monsters. Time for the final 3, all of which are bosses. Drumroll, please. The bronze goes to the golden hippo, followed by the putrescent knight with just 30 more resist earns the silver. Well done.
And the winner is...
Commander Gaius, who gets the gold. He completely destroys the pre-DLC record of Makalev's 2277. Just don't ask me the lore to why he doesn't want to go to bed. You would think that St. Trainer's Guardian would be the most sleep-resistant dude in the entire game. Or as a undead skeleton, should really be immune. And speaking of immunities, and final boss spoilers, Radahn is now immune. Theories on a postcard. Personally, I think it's horse related. So, after all this research, is a sleep build any good in the DLC? Well, yeah. Kinda. There's always that huge chunk of reused enemies that sleep works well on. That, and there's a ton of tanky knight type enemies, which of course includes Rennala. It's a real shame then that so few enemies can be eternally slept. And even then, it often isn't very eternal. I would say more, but Old Man has a lot to say about the new eternal sleep mechanic. That is past my bedtime. So, thanks for watching. Let me just change into my natty night jammies and get all cozy in the viscera covered bed. Thanks for watching. Good night.